Hello and welcome to Behind the Black Veil, where we get a more intimate look at the mysteries of our lives, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everything's been well with you. Things are even more intense than they were before. On my side, I hope everything is well with you. Everything is well with me. Amen. All right. It could be better, but it's well. You know what I'm saying? You know how that is? All right, fantastic. Let's clear the air and bless the cards, shall we? I hope you're chilling. Awesome. Fantastic. We dedicate ourselves and this conversation with the ancestors, with the Creator, to generating the energy of peace, bringing clear our creative potential, bear with me, and seeing behind what appears to be obstacles, things clearly as they are. All right, we call for accurate answers, accurate interpretations of those answers, and the wise and skillful application of the guidance that we receive here today. All right, fantastic. Let's get right into it and find out what the ancestors want to discuss with the children this week. Ancestors, things are getting big, all right? I mean, the scale is multiplying. I feel like the Creator turned my energy up to like 1,000 recently, and that even seems like a low, estimate, actually, now that I'm reflecting on it. But moving along, ancestors, here's the deal. The world doesn't owe you anything. Let's talk about it. Acting like the world owes you something keeps you in a mentality of scarcity. Come on now. Come on, mentality of scarcity. Hold on, let me put this back so I can dedicate myself to this one card here. Here's the hard truth. The universe never borrowed anything from you. All the gifts she's given you so far have been gifts. If you treat everything in your life like that, you'll be a lot happier. Unless you're a dick, of course. Then you'll just be grumpy. It's your choice, boo-boo. Okay? All right. So what are we getting from that? I get, when we say the world doesn't owe you anything, I'm getting the universe doesn't owe you anything. God doesn't owe you anything. So that's meaningful. To say it that way is meaningful. Because if you look at it that way, like they said, if you look at it as God doesn't owe you anything, then you understand that everything that you have is amazing. You're lucky. Sort of thing. Break it further down, ancestors. Break it further down. What do you want us to get out of that? What do you want us to get out of that most of all? Most of all, get this. The mercy and grace of safe passage is a gift from God. Now, see, that's interesting because we was talking about that last week, right? In terms of the humans, and the humans would have killed themselves already if it wasn't for God, and that's how we know. Okay, that's what I'm getting out of that. That's what I'm getting out of that. The mercy and grace of safe passage, you have that, children of God. You have that. Okay? Let's talk more about the significance of that. Let's talk more. Also, I get that anything you received was not given to you out of love. What splashes back at my mind right now is Abraham Lincoln, and the Emancipation Proclamation. That's what's bouncing back to me right now in terms of this wasn't out of love for African slaves. This was a move that was necessary for the politics of the time, right? And so, but it was a gift, however. It was a gift, but it wasn't a gift from Abe Lincoln. It was a gift from God for the African people who benefited from that, and everybody who benefited from those Africans and whatever they did after that. Okay, so That's what I'm getting out of that. Of course, smear that on every floor and every situation where you may receive something that is a gift, or you may have something or possess something that is a gift. And to understand that no man gave you that is the sensation that I'm getting. Okay, no human being gave you that, and therefore, put respect where it's due, and that is with God, right? Okay, cool. Let me just go a little deeper here. Okay, so going where demons and angels fear to tread. Go on. I see. You're about to do something. The world doesn't owe you anything. Why are they saying it like that? Where your gifts come from is basically the explanation is giving me where your gifts come from. That's important to know, children of God, where your gifts come from. You see here? Divine calling. Look at this. Right. Okay, so there's a reason you have a gift. You possess something, children of God. You possess something. I feel like on the flip side, there may be people who are kicking rocks because you possess this gift, whatever this gift is. Or when you get gifts, or when you showcase gifts, there might be some people kicking rocks about that, and so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Is the sensation, and there's a very specific reason why you don't have to worry about that, is what they seem to be saying. Okay, so, and that's so deep because I was talking about that this morning. I was talking about how much security a person might need, a specific person might need in a particular situation where, let's say, you need a high level of security, like on the physical scale, right? Okay, because you have many plots, like the Game of Thrones, many plots against you, right? Okay, but even with all the swords or the knights or the guns or whatever we're doing to protect ourselves, locking our doors, being careful, trying to make wise decisions, every action, every piece of equipment really is limited in what it can do to protect you, right? It can protect you against, 1, 2, 3, but not 4, 5, and 6, that sort of thing. And that membrane from God is that one piece of equipment that can keep you safe in any situation when you're facing any level of threat. Because that membrane can become the idea you need. That membrane can become the tool you need. It can become the person that you need. It can become the opportunity that you need. So you feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm picking up right here. All right. Yeah, another thing that I'm getting here is the world doesn't owe you anything. And I'm getting a sensation of having to go get a thing. It's not really, everybody's going to be at a different place in their situation, and go get is highly subjective in terms of what that would look like in physical reality. But there's a sensation, the common denominator is a stance. The common denominator is an establishment of where you stand on the matter, is the sensation that I'm getting here. Okay? And you are taking a stance and thereby going to get it. Claiming your space is the sensation that I'm getting. Claiming your territory. All right? And it's not claiming the territory, it's claiming your territory. That's critical for some reason. I'm not quite sure why that's so critical. All right, get off on your floor. Okay, the Queen of Cups. Okay, so there's 70 different layers to this, y'all. Okay, on one floor, let's go to the enemy floor. Let's go to the ops, right? As the kids would say, the ops. Opposition. Ops in terms of opposition, I'm getting that there's an opposition Queen of Swords figure who is on the kicking rock side of the equation. Kicking rock side. Now, this is not a Queen of Swords who is in good standing. I get the sensation. And it is regarding a Queen of Cups who belongs to someone, or that's their territory, or some such thing like that. Okay? If we're on the ops floor with the enemy or the opposing energy, I'm getting the sensation that they did a thing, wanted a thing, intended a thing, and it was unsuccessful on some level, on some scale. All right. Let's let that rock for a minute. Divine calling. Yeah. Okay. So you might be involved in something where you're dealing with this dynamic where somebody is trying to, stop you, because we have the mercy and grace of safe passage, which means passage was an issue, right? So somebody was trying to stop you from, I'm going to go ahead and say, stop you from claiming your territory is what I'm going to say. Or taking your stance, or taking your stand, or claiming your throne, or your position, or whatever, right? They're kicking rocks. You successfully achieved something. And along those lines, with that flavor, with that Excalibur flavor to it. You achieve something. They're kicking rocks. They're kicking rocks because they were found to be corrupt. They were found. She cuts off the head of corruption. So, if we're flipping the energy, boom. That's how that energy was kind of came on back from the mercy and grace of safe passage. Like it was some sort of thing where you got it, claimed it, got the sword, mercy and grace of safe passage, and then boom, cut off the head of this by this, cutting off the head of corruption by this somehow. Cutting off the head of corruption, and now we're kicking rocks. Okay, so that's on the ops floor. Okay, back to the sanctuary. The world doesn't owe you anything. You got to go get it. Right? So the sword, Excalibur. Right? You got to go get that sword. Again, on a spectrum. Highly subjective, mild to cataclysmic. Okay? There's some sort of deeper meaning. There's some sort of love or deeper meaning to the claiming of this sword. So there's many layers here in the claiming of that sword. I hope this is meaning something to you people. All right. There's a divine calling. This is how you got the mercy and grace of safe passage. See, because the world doesn't owe you anything, neither does God. Right? Because that's what we're here to discuss. God owes you nothing. So anything you get, hello, you're welcome. It says God. All right. Absolutely. And we are grateful and we are thankful. All right. Now, down here, there's a little bit of you get what you get and you don't get upset down here. So that's what I would say on the ops floor to this Queen of Swords. Because what the Queen of Swords was exposed to was excellent swordsmanship. Hello? Right. And also exposed to the divine calling. Right. Everybody's got one. Right, exactly. All right. So, going where demons and angels fear to tread, this person would have to then go find their sword. This is my sword. Okay. Right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It says the children of God. This my sword. You have to go get yours. Everybody's got one. This one's mine. That's okay. And so you can't sit there and wait for people to hand things to you. You got to establish yourself here. Establish your point of view. Establish what you have to say. Utilize your gifts for God's purposes. And that's what it looks like you did here, children of God. You utilize your gifts for God's purposes. And somebody else was going against, it looks like, God's purposes by going against you. Essentially, right? Okay, so if we're back in the sanctuary, you have to understand your purpose and your authority to claim your sword. Okay, because it's, what it's like. It's like being assertive or asserting yourself. It's a mark of adulthood. It's a mark of maturity. Because Excalibur is the boy king. He's coming into himself. He's stepping into his own shoes. He's filling his spot. So it's a transitionary thing. It's if that's a word. Did I pronounce that right? I don't know. You know what I'm saying, right? So he's coming into himself, I want to say, as a man or as a mature individual. Doesn't have to be a man. So, okay, or the maturity of their love. Perhaps it's the energy itself that's maturing, or the maturity of their sense of purpose. You know, some sort of coming of age or some sort of milestone, personal milestone that affects many. Personal milestone that affects many. That's what I'm getting out of that. All right, let's go further. Yes. Okay, so there's an assertion that has to be made, or that is being made, of your position here on the planet Earth, children of God. The significance of your presence here is coming to bear by you receiving the mercy and grace of safe passage in whatever way that's happening for you in your life. It's like something where anybody would have been dead if that happened to them, that sort of thing. Or if that happened to them, they would have lost their mind. Or if that happened to them, you know, they would be in jail. Or if that, you know, like something is happening to you, children of God, that's not normal. The consequences aren't normal. And people are observing this. And by observing it, they're somehow getting a glimpse of God. They're somehow getting a glimpse of who gives out the gifts. I did talk about Santa Claus in the last reading. It's giving me Santa Claus real big. It's giving me Santa Claus. And I said God is not Santa Claus in the last reading. This is giving me strong Santa Claus. So what I'm getting out of that is Santa Claus is modeled after God. That's what it's giving me. He's modeled after God, which means there's a kernel of truth in how Santa Claus gets down. There's a kernel of truth in how that plays out in reality, right? Who's naughty, who's nice, a list, keeping a list, checking it twice, you know, like all of the, you know, being vigilant about such a thing, you know what I mean? That's what it's giving me right now. And it's real interesting. Side note, okay, flow with me here, because it's now giving me Christmas, like legit capitalism Christmas. It's giving me capitalism right now. And the way the religious holiday has been kind of hijacked by capitalism. Can I say hijacked by capitalism? In the sense of that's what we've begun to celebrate is capitalism. And we have not, you know, spent so much time on God and what God's point was. You feel me? Because even the religions are modeled after the actual cycles of nature. Right? Because during Christmas, that's the, winter solstice. And that's a big, legit, big milestone for the year. Milestone's a key word. Okay, put a thumbtack in that. It's a milestone for the year where we take stock of the year. Right? We take stock of who we've been, who people have been to us. You know, what it's like to be alive right now. Things like that. You know, goodwill towards men, and are we doing that or not? And, you know, are we in the Christmas spirit or not, right? And it's turned into, you know, did we get that discount that we needed to get? You know, did we get that item from that toy or that television set, or, you know what I mean? And can we pay this bill after we use our credit card? You know, all of the bills we're going to have to pay. You know, it's turned into that, you know? So that's what it's giving me, is that we started to think that our gifts come from the store. That's the sensation I'm getting, is that humans started to think that their gifts come from the store. And they don't understand, here according to what the ancestors are saying, that their gifts come from God. That's where the gifts come from, ladies and gentlemen. They would like us to know. All right. And then we can, of course, spread the word. Now, as far as your op is concerned, or your ops are concerned, that's where they thought the gifts came from. They thought the gifts came from the store. So apparently you have some sort of gift that didn't come from the store. And they're able to discern this somehow by you getting the grace and mercy of safe passage. That's what is showing them. That they don't sell that at the store, right? right person who was going against the children of God. Correct. That's why you need to join us and join the winning team by getting a life purpose. Absolutely. God is the one who gives out the life purposes. Did you think they came from someplace else? She thought the life purposes came from HR. She thought they came from, I don't know, college. I don't know where she thought they came from. But apparently they come from God. So that's going out to everybody. That's going out to the children of God and those who have forgotten that they have the opportunity to become one of the children of God with the favor and the mercy and the grace of safe passage. Got to go to God for that. Okay? This lady was at HR. HR can't help her. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. They can't help you. See? Ultimate favorable outcome. See, if you want to touch the sword, says the child of God, if you want to touch the sword and pull it out of the rock like Excalibur, where nobody could pull it out of the rock, but you can pull it out of the rock, and ultimate favorable outcome, and it's the 10 of Cups, and it's everything, you need God for that, says the children of God. You need God for that. Absolutely. Yes, you do. So another thing that I'm getting is that someone feels is kicking rocks because you're real, or you're true, or you told the truth, or you're the truth, or it's true. Something is true. Somebody is feeling a way about that. Somebody is kicking rocks because you had a favorable outcome, children of God, of some sort. The mercy and grace of safe passage. Okay, and you knew that the gifts come from God. Something you knew. It's not a direct opposition. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that it's an indirect opposition, whatever that means. Get off on your floor. It's like you didn't have a direct interaction with this person, but there's some sort of like proxy war. You know, it's giving me, or not exactly. It's some sort of, well, there is a proxy war on one level, but this is not the same. It's not the same level. It's a proxy war on the spiritual warfare level, but not here on the physical level. Like on the physical level, it looks like you did not have a direct interaction with whoever this is that was opposing your energy. Somebody affected you somehow, or tried to affect you somehow, tried to make sure you didn't get the mercy and grace of safe passage, tried to make sure you couldn't claim your territory. That's the sensation. Can't claim your sword, can't claim your crown, can't claim your throne, or your woman, if that's what we're dealing with, because we do have the Queen of Cups here. You feel me? And I get somebody might have said you were corrupt, and that was the person who was corrupt, the person who said you was corrupt. You know, that sort of thing, kind of thing. It's like, side note, my mom used to say, if anybody tells you I killed myself, that's the motherfucker that killed me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. That's what it's giving me right now. Yeah, okay. Right. Something is telling you. Something be telling the children of God. I know that's right. Okay, how did you know somebody is mad that you know something? Like, you know, and I don't know what you know. I don't know what it is that you know. You know yourself. You know your place. You know what's yours. Is all I could guess based on these cards. You know your purpose in life. You know what you're capable of. You know what you're entitled to. Get off on your floor. Okay? That's what I'm getting. And where your entitlements are concerned, it's there's legitimacy in it. You know? There's legitimacy in it. And there's humility in it. It's not a boast. It's not a boastful, you know, this is mine, you know, kind of thing. It's more of a legitimate, this is mine. Here's the paperwork. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is fucking mine, bro. Hands off. You know, simple. Fucking simple. You know? And it looks like whoever's kicking rocks was kicking rocks because you know that about yourself, or you know that about the situation, or you know that about this person. Is several things that you know that come together and equal this. Okay? So hopefully that's helpful. Let's get a segue. Let's get a segue and get the rest of this thing popping. Ancestors, what you want to tell the YouTube people about this? About the world owes you nothing and therefore what? And the gifts come from God. Hold on. Hang on. Whoever this opposition or whoever, whenever these opposition people come into your life, into your sphere, I get the sensation of it's like you're eating at the cornucopia, the table with the cornucopia on it, right? Right? Am I saying that right? With all the feast and the whole thing, right? Okay. That's the children of God are eating richly at this table, let's say. And there are some mice of doubt creeping around the grand hall. Okay? And instead of, being pestered by them, if I'm picking a good word for that, instead of being bothered or irritated, let some crumbs, let them eat the crumbs of enlightenment that fall from your table, children of God. And then the mice of doubt will become enlightened. Okay? I got that from the Native Americans. All right, so, and that's what I'm getting here. That's what I'm getting here because I see God caring for these people, whoever they are. All right? I see God caring for them. I see God telling them, hey, you can have a purpose too. You can get some gifts. Would you like some gifts? Well, you have to come out of the store then, because that's not where the gifts are. You dig it? Okay, you feel me? So, because here, we're transcending our fears and we're facing our demons. That's shadow work. Right? That's what we all have to do. Right? That's what you had to do to get this sword out of that damn rock. Am I right, children of God? Hello? Heavy is the head, ladies and gentlemen. All right? And heavy is the sword. I want to say heavy is the sword, ladies and gentlemen. Hello? Just anybody can't carry that sword around. Hello? Let me handle that, says the children of God. All right? Absolutely. Listen, so you got to do your shadow work. That's all. You don't have to kick rocks. You don't have to be corrupt. That's not necessary in order to have a favorable outcome. You don't have to be corrupt. You have to see things clearly. That's what we do here. Take that Queen of Swords energy and see things clearly as they are. Amen? Then you have to go where demons and angels fear to tread. Over here, we're transcending our demons. Right. So demons can't come here to the mercy and grace of safe passage where we're smooth sailing in the boat on the great day. Because in that card, they talk about how the boat is passing on the water and there's no land in sight. And underneath you is a vast abyss of emptiness filled only with water. And it is the mercy of God that is responsible for your safe passage. Hello? Every single day. Every single day, no matter how the circumstances change, that will never change. God is where the gifts come from. That's never going to change. So I see God giving this person care in this situation, offering them an opportunity to reflect, because that's what we do in this card. Why life got to be like that? Shame life got to be like that. It's a shame that had to cut the head off corruption like that. So cold. So very cold. But whoever this op is was being very cold, very corrupt. But they were close to something. They were close to God. They were a witness to something. They were a witness to God in action through the circumstances and people involved in whatever the situation is. Get off on your floor. This is the example you're setting, children of God. You're showing someone where the gifts are located. That is a gift. To be shown where the gifts are located is a gift. That's what I see here. Transcend your emotions. Fuck your feelings, says the ancestors. Doesn't matter how you feel. What matters is clear perception. Understand your place. Understand your place. That's what the children of God do. If you want to be like us, you got to understand your place. You got to understand what's yours, and you got to understand what you're entitled to. You got to understand where the gifts are. If you want to be like us and have the ultimate favorable outcome, ultimate favorable outcome, favorable judgment. Okay? Ace of Cups energy over here, something is telling us. We get downloads here. Okay? See, so something is up with the head, because remember Master of the Head last week, and your head had to be on straight. Your head had to be on straight. It's giving me that again. Okay, because here's the rainbow bridge, the connection between both hemispheres of the brain, and that's how something is telling us. So this person needs to understand how to rewire their brain so something could be telling them. And then they could get a gift, and they can get the mercy and grace of safe passage, and they can claim their territory. See what I'm saying? And then all is well when everybody is in their proper place. As simple as that. Burst free of your limiting beliefs. You want to be strong? That's how you do it. You burst free of your limiting beliefs, and you surrender to the superior power of the spirit. Superior. Right. So somebody wanted power. I get the sensation. They wanted power. They wanted access. They wanted privilege. Here's power again, and privilege. But that comes from God. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And you got to go where demons and angels fear to tread, because heavy is the head. It's not a game. Okay? To whom much is given, look at this love. To whom, look at this power. To whom much is given, much is required. That's what the children of God know. So, no corruption here. You can't do it. If you want to win with the children of God, you got to go where demons and angels fear to tread, and you got to get a gift from God. You got to be on your purpose. You got to be on your purpose. Okay, so anybody who's listening to the devil, like the devil's minions, the devil does whatever he told you, it's a lie. He told, oh, I'm going to give you this, just do that, and I'm going to give you this, subscribe to these principles, and I'm going to give you that, whatever it is. Okay, if it's true that he gives it to you, something is going to be wrong with you where you can't enjoy it. It's going to be something. It's going to be like the Fantasy Island experience, right? Where it's like a dream, and then it turns into a nightmare kind of thing, and then it's a lesson, it's a learning lesson kind of thing. That's what I'm getting. This is a learning lesson. It's not God trying to torture you to death. It's a learning lesson. It's to get you on your purpose. It's to get you what you say you want. You say you want power. You say you want access. Well, you're going to have to deal with these demons of yours, says the Creator to whoever this op is, or these ops. Get on your purpose and you'll start feeling better. You feel me? Or if you don't feel better, you'll have a good reason. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a good and legitimate reason for your shit. All right? Yeah, okay. So I get the sensation here that one of two things could happen. Okay, hold on, let me reflect. One of two things could happen. Okay, all of your efforts can come to nothing. You can continue to be, your ops can continue to be, I feel that the ancestors are offering them, somehow, the ancestors and the Creator are offering your ops some sort of deal, is the sensation that I'm getting. Because they've obviously shown great hunger for whatever it is you have, children of God. Whatever it is you are, whatever it is you have, whatever it is you want, they want it somehow, real hungrily. I get the sensation. And this hunger is impressive. That's the sensation that I get. To God, this hunger that was played out through the corruption, it's impressive. So the Creator seems to be saying, well, if you're really that hungry, then maybe we can work something out. You know, if you're willing to do the work, that is. starting with bursting free of your limiting beliefs and understanding that no one owes you anything. You got to show up for work. You got to show up for God. You got to show up for your fucking self. And I get the sensation that that means authentically show up for yourself. Do not operate according to corruption. You know what I mean? Show up for yourself, understanding how everything is connected. And you will enjoy the results of your actions. For better or for worse, is the sensation that I'm getting. So this could be a mind-blowing revelation and release, because release and relief is in this card, as well as when you're transcending the demons, you're going from one level to another, to a higher level, a better level, a more comfortable level, right? And whatever emotions are pulling you down, you're kind of cutting those ties and you're committing to your ascension. And that's what we're doing here when we're surrendering to the superior power of the spirit. We are committing to our ascension. Here, this card represents commitment. Can you see that? Okay. Yeah, this card, this is Man Brigitte. She is committed. She is commitment. She lets things come, lets them go. She understands the spectrum of life and death and everything in between. And she stays still like Buddha under the Bodhi tree. She stays still and all the information is already clear perception here. Okay, and so there's some beautiful things about life and there's some not so beautiful things about life. But life itself is true. And that's a gift. That's a gift. To know reality, truly know what's real, is a gift. I also get the sensation of be careful who you have going around and around in their head when you fucking with people's head. Be careful with that. Okay? Because that blows back and you lose your head. You see what I'm saying? That blows back because it's truth. Somebody is realizing that the universe has laws. And it would behoove them to learn those laws. That is your function, children of God, is to serve and set those examples, set those precedents. Hello? Right. Okay, so I was getting some notes this week, and it was coming to me as life and art, and how art reflects life and vice versa, right? And it was coming to me as it can be ugly or it can be beautiful, but it's always true. And we're talking about reality or life, right? Or we could say that about art in that, you know, it could be beautiful or it could be ugly, but it's always true. It's always a chronicle of the time. It's always an indicator of what condition the humans were in whole or in part, during a particular time in history. Right? So same thing with reality, with this person who was trying to bend reality into their favor, or they were trying to lie about you, children of God, and say you were corrupt or you were false somehow, or what you represent is false, essentially projecting all that they were in that time, in that moment, onto you. And most probably, it's not on card necessarily, but most probably trying to pretend that your better characteristics were their own, while their terrible characteristics were all you, in order to be able to pull out this sword. This is what they were intending, and this is what you know, whatever this is taking the form of for you, this is what it was about. It's about you understanding your place and asserting your place, and thereby setting the example to others to do the same. Go find your place. Go find your purpose. You feel me? And or you can see all your efforts come to nothing. Those are your options. Those are your options. Or you can have your mind blown by the power of the spirit by joining the winning team and doing your shadow work. Okay? Before you come outside with the rest of humanity. All right, this is what I'm getting from that. I hope that information helps somebody. All right, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell on your way out. Pick up a copy of Discriminating Wisdom over at Amazon. Make sure you're out here discriminating wisely. And I will see you again here soon, party people. Everybody else, let's go to Patreon. I will see you soon behind the black veil.